There we go. That's better. Sorry, the crystal ball it had a little crack in it. I had to repair it just there. But we're back. Okay, I should probably unmute them too.
Arrive.
Oh, there.
We arrive.
They arrive. We had a bunch of different things occur that made this late, but that's all. That's all right. We're here now, right? So it's all good. Apparently Twitch has been having issues today, but I have not seen it. We just had different issues. The universe channeled our luck in a different direction. But we're here, and we are ready to do some Seas of Sand. Previously, the party made their way through the Scorpion's Den, a temple designed for combating the Yuan-Ti hundreds and hundreds of years ago in the deserts of Zul'Gran. And they learned about the Scions of the Scorpion, the organization that fought back against the Yuan-Ti abominations as they attempted to take over the entire desert. And after learning a bit more about that, they have determined the goals of the Yuan-Ti cult that still exists today, and their desire to seize an old tome known as the Sanguine Archive, which contains a lot of the blood magic rituals that the Yuan-Ti had designed all those years ago. And they were told that the tome itself was sealed away in an old temple known as Ain Sidram. And that is where they are going to set off for, across the desert once more. Last session they made their way back to the Kasana Oasis, but they had not set off quite yet. So that's where we are today. They debated the merits of bringing along Cecilia's love interest. That's where we left.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, he's my love interest.
From your perspective, at the very least.
What? Crazy. That's wild, for real. No, he's just some dude. What the fuck do you talk about? What are you on about?
So
we can never talk to him again? You'll be fine with it?
he's gone from the story. He just dissolves. Thanos snapped by the player.
I'd cry. I'd start crying. But like on the inside, you wouldn't know.
Okay. So after spending a little bit of time to rest in the cave tavern in Kasana Oasis, you debated the merits of bringing along your various acquaintances, who you might find useful or who has the personal investment in traveling that far. And you opted to leave Leandro behind, which he was okay with as long as you were, in order to try and stop him from being killed on the journey. So what if you got nicer armor and gave Sutsu armor? It would not help Cecilia at all. It would greatly hinder Cecilia in combat.
Indeed.
He's trying to move around. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it would be
whacks himself in the face.
It would be like putting Cecilia in a mech suit that doesn't have any power in it. You just
Are you even able to wear armor you aren't proficient with? I forget.
I am only proficient.
You technically can put it all on, but it weighs down pretty much everything you do.
Yeah, I'm only proficient in light.
What's it like not being able to wear armor of any kind?
I'm too squishy.
I just remember having that question from when I would read the spell Tensor's Transformation, which is it gives you proficiency in all armor types, but you can't cast the spell while wearing armor. It takes 10 minutes to put armor on, which is the spell's duration.
That's useless then. Why?
I know. I mean, it does other stuff that's really good, but just that
I mean,
part is like,
Goodness
what?
sake.
You aren't stopped from casting magic by putting on armor.
Really?
You
That's what I heard.
It just makes a lot of stuff harder to do while you're in armor. So you would ideally probably put it on and then cast it. But it'd be probably hard to use. I'd have to read the spell. Off the top of my head, I don't know the wording of it. There was no way that they would put a spell in that's that useless, so I have faith in them.
Oh yeah, like I
makes
said,
more sense.
it does other stuff that's really useful. It does a shit ton of crazy stuff other than that, but it's just
There are
that
also-
part I remember being really funny.
There are also multi-class things and feats that change all that stuff too. So like all you need is one level in fighter, and that instantly can change things. So. All right. So, as you guys, I don't know if you were eating or drinking anything. Maybe you're just hanging out at the table.
I think
I
we
can't
were just
remember.
sitting. I think we were
The-
just sitting here.
the
Yeah, I
tavern
can't remember
keeper-
the context of us being here.
The tavern. You just wanted a place to talk and rest because you just traveled across the desert.
Right, yeah.
But the tavern keeper kind of walks by. She eyes you a little bit, like, are they gonna order something? Should I kick them out? She does it a couple times.
Oh my
As
god,
you
we're
guys sit here and
freeloaders.
have a conversation, she wanders by a little bit and kind of gives you guys a bit of the stink eye. But as you sort of wrap up your conversation, deciding what you want to bring with you, what are you gonna do next?
Should we get something to eat, bro?
Well,
I don't
ideally, we probably moved past that already.
Okay.
In our 2-week long break.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was our plan just to head straight to the archive?
I mean, we've got to
I
get.
guess.
We have to get supplies and stuff. Were
But
we gonna spend?
we can montage that.
Okay.
We're not
I was
gonna
wondering-
sit there and make you count out each piece of gold. So you can just tell me generally what you guys want to bring. It's probably just the same as last time probably works because you've done this
How-
before.
How long roughly is our travel going to take from here to Einsidron?
About as long as the one north from Kasana.
Oh,
Depends
so
on
like
weather.
a couple days, vaguely.
Depends on the weather, yeah.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah, I guess in character we because we've arrived midday, so it's probably better
Yeah.
to rest for the rest of this day and head out in the morning.
Yeah. Speaking, this is off topic. Is there somewhere where I can get jewelry made in here? Because I wanted to get that thing I got from Yishai Maiden too. Something more convenient.
Yeah, there's all sorts of merchants in the bazaar, so you could just kind of browse in the rest of today before you guys go to sleep and then leave tomorrow. You could
Okay.
browse the bazaar for a place to just kind of set that into whatever type of jewelry you want, necklace, whatever.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting it made into a necklace so it's convenient. You're a bitch.
And if you, yeah, I did put it in your inventory as well, and I
Okay.
equipped and attuned it for you.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
So if you forget what it does, you can go look.
No, I wrote it down. Oh shit, I didn't open my notes. This is very important. Okay, so how much would it cost if I wanted to get it made into a necklace? Because I'll just remove that from my. Inventory?
You'd be providing the more expensive part of the jewelry.
Oh, okay.
By giving them the essentially the gem that they would normally set into the necklace. So it wouldn't be actually that expensive, since they're really just providing some of the materials and a bit of the labor. So I'd
Yeah.
say maybe about 3-4 gold.
That's not too bad. Alrighty. Cool. But yeah, I figured if I had it as a necklace, it would be more convenient instead of having to dig around in my pockets for it.
Smart. So you guys can just give me a little summary of how you spend the rest of the day. Suits you do that? Is anybody else doing anything? You can just say that I rest up for the journey ahead if you want, but I just want to know if anybody wants to take care of anything before before we skip to the next day?
No, I don't
I
think I
think-
have anything.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Alrighty. Then yeah. Each of you kind of spends your time how you want, and then you arrange some rooms in the tavern downstairs to be able to sleep. And you drift off. So I don't. You guys probably have already done it, so I think you're good. But if anybody hasn't, make sure you long rest. I think you guys are fine though. So in the morning, the sun does not shine through the windows here because there really aren't any. But early in the morning, you guys awake and are ready to set out on your journey. You spent the previous day arranging some supplies, stocking up, and sorting out what you want to carry on you versus put onto Pancake for the journey. And early in the morning, before the desert gets too hot, you all awake, ready to begin your journey.
Alright, gang. Let's get going.
Yes, we better.
Hello, Delta. Welcome.
Skellington.
All right. So, making your way back out of the oasis, your journey is kind of due east, so you can really leave from any direction that you wish. But if that's all you have to take care of in the Kasana Oasis for the journey ahead, then we can get ready to go. Thanks for
Brief
the
BRB as I put a hoodie on.
okay. Thanks for the prime sub, Delta.
Wait.
Means a
Yay.
lot. So you guys stopped by Leandro's stall to pick up Pancake, loaded up with all your supplies and ready to go.
No, actually, we leave Pancake there and venture off into the desert with nothing.
Cecilia can do that.
Okay. I guess I can. I guess.
And then Lunette could grab fire spells because nobody would be
No,
blocking
No,
that
I'm
beam.
the fire spell.
No, you would die in the desert and it would be my fate now.
I don't want to die in the desert.
Don't make your goo goo eyes at your boyfriend.
Morning. Are you setting out then?
Yep.
Very well. Pancake has been waiting, and you came to a decision on whether or not you wanted me to accompany you. Yes.
Yeah, we decided it would be safer if you stayed here.
Very well. I trust your decision. If you do manage to find what you're looking for, and you all live to tell the tale, then please do come back to Kasana, and we can all head south once more.
Yeah, here's hoping it's not bad.
He asked, desperately asking you to not abandon him without his camel in the oasis.
No. He doesn't give a shit about us. He cares about his camel.
Yeah, have you seen Pancake?
That's true.
Yeah.
He's
That's
the main
very
character.
true. Pancake is
We could
the
never
rest of
die
us-
with
yeah.
Pancake at our side.
Yeah, Pancake is like he does everything for us. So
Pancake,
yeah.
Pancake is your Samwise.
It's true.
But Leandro kind of just says, well, I wish you luck on your journey then. Safe travels.
Thanks. We will try our best.
Inspiring.
Yep. Yep. Listen. I
Just
have
teasing.
mediocre opinions
It's fine,
on how
it's
this is
fine.
gonna go. Oh, before I leave, I am gonna give Leandro 10 gold and just slide it across the table and be like, listen, if we die, this is a thank you. I hope we won't. He goes, but if we do, this is my investment. And he leaves before he can give it back.
You just kind of get a trailing off, kind of quiet. Thank you.
He gets my money and that's it. Time to leave.
We took your camel and all your supplies, and then we die. But
Here's 10 gold.
I mean, that's not a small amount of money.
Yeah, it's not a. Do you want me to go back and give him more? Because I think I
no,
gave him
I'm
more.
just laughing because of the way that normal D&D scales things. You guys are very used to me scaling all the money down to make gold pieces feel more valuable, but normal D&D, you find like 40 gold in like some dude's boot when you walk into an abandoned castle.
Yeah.
No.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
laughing, just because of the context of normal D&D, but I prefer how we do it, where we scale it down a little bit and make gold feel a little bit more valuable.
I was gonna say, I'm not trying to give him the nice stuff I have. Like,
That's half a potion of healing. But you guys lead Pancake off towards the pass in the rocks that leads out of the oasis, and once more are now faced with the sprawling expanse of the Imhara Desert. Let's copy everybody. All right. We need to update this one anyway, so we'll head back here. Okay, I think, yeah, I did update it. Okay, good. In between sessions, I did update that other map. I'm very ahead. I'm glad. I'm glad I didn't forget. Okay. All right. So, the five of you set out, and Pancake set out from Kisana. This time heading to the east, a trek that you have not yet made. Basically across all the way towards the far coast of Zul'Garan. This time you all, even though you're not bringing Leandro with you, you do have a bit more experience with traveling through the desert than you once had. So you won't be completely lost without your guide, though it will be a little bit more difficult. Let's go take a look at Zul'Garan, shall we?
Yes.
I didn't bother to upload this one in high res, so it's not as sharp as the other one. Sorry,
aw, crunchy map. How could you?
but
Oh no.
to be fair,
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
it loads 100% faster. All right. So you guys set out between the rock pass and make your way due east across the desert. Is there anything different that you guys want to do on your journey that you did not do last time? Just so that I have a point of reference.
Not as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
No.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to know in case you wanted to adapt and do something different.
Nah, we're basic. You know us.
Yeah, we walk straight.
Yep. No.
Pretty much.
We burrow under the sand like worms to get there safely.
Is this Dune? Are we
Dune.
sandworms?
No, this is actually Tremors. We are the sandworms.
Yes.
They are called fucking graboids.
Okay, well,
True.
graboids.
That is true.
There's like so many tremors. I don't know what's going. The only thing I remember is ass blasters, and that's it.
Okay.
Sorry, that's from like the 6th to the 7th tremors. Anyway,
Why
back
did you
to
watch
Dungeons
that
and
many of them?
What the fuck?
I watched a lot of kill count videos, okay? A lot of kill count videos. Like, I've seen
Okay.
all of them.
I see.
They're good. They're good.
Alrighty. So, I believe I did some basic rolls last time, but we'll do the rest of the rolls as well. Okay. 1, 2. And oop, that dice fell on the floor, but we'll use as a result. And 3. Okay, so the weather's clear for the first day. Eventually, as you walk throughout the morning, the desert begins to heat up around you, slowly reaching those sweltering temperatures that you have begun to get a little bit more accustomed to, even though some of you are from the cold north. You've spent quite a bit of time in the desert, so.
Do not lie on my behalf. I am still struggling.
Very well, yeah, you can still struggle if you want. But
I am wearing metal armor.
maybe maybe this time you aren't. Then let's say maybe this time you aren't surprised by the struggle. You know what's coming, and you'll just have to struggle through it.
Bussing it.
But for the first day, the weather is pretty clear, and you manage to make a pretty good time as you walk through essentially just an endless expanse of sand. There's almost no landmarks to gauge your travel on as you walk. Eventually, even Kasana behind you fades away under the dunes in the distance. And so you make your first day without really any occurrences, anything out of the ordinary, and camp for the night once it begins to cool down and get dark in the desert. And on your second day, you awake in the morning and use the colder hours of morning to get a bit of distance as the wind has kicked up a little bit more harsh on the second day. But as you travel maybe about midday, as the sun begins to swelter quite hot high above you in the sky, you actually notice something in the distance. At first, you're not really sure if it's a mirage or maybe just a rock formation or something, as it kind of wavers off in the distance, kind of shimmering in the heat. But as you begin to get a little bit closer, you actually see that it is a rock formation, but something's been sort of built up on top of it. And the closer you get, the more you can start to identify it. You see sort of wooden walls built and large tents draped across the top of it to shield it from the sun. You see what amounts to a sort of rock spire with these kind of wooden stairs that make their way up the side of it. What do you do?
I feel like the obvious answer is go towards it.
I mean, I guess. It sounds a little dangerous.
I
But
don't see why not.
yeah, good to take a look, I guess.
Very well. Alrighty. Where? Why do I feel like...
What?
I just feel like something's missing. When I looked at my thing, I was like, okay, never mind. I think we're good. Alrighty. You guys stay here for a second. I need to check something.
What if I leave, actually?
Then you don't get to play.
Damn! These options got hands.
You guys debate whether or not you should go towards it or maybe take a longer distance in your journey and try to walk a good distance around it. But you opt to actually hang on. You opt to just kind of cut towards it instead. And as you get a little bit closer, you can kind of see that it appears to be some sort of little settlement almost on top of this spire in the middle of the desert. The only recognizable landmark for miles around in the dunes. And as I said, as you get closer, you can see that these walls that surround it are kind of lashed together from pieces of wood, and some of them have been sharpened to spikes at the top. And there is sort of makeshift, rickety-looking ladders and stairs that lead its way up towards the very top of it as you approach. But as you get nice and close, you can actually see someone kind of peering in between the gaps in part of the wood down at you. Something kind of moving from behind. What do you do?
Goodness gracious. What do you all think it is?
I've been sitting here trying to figure out what it is, and I have no idea.
It
I mean-
could be like like a merchant's gathering.
There's a guy staring at us.
Where?
Up in there?
So there's some sort of kind of shape moving from behind part of the wall, but you can't really see what exactly is watching you guys as you walk kind of closer towards this tower from a distance away.
Well, before anyone else,
Do we want to?
I'm not like going. I'm just gonna try and see if I can't get a better view of who this person is.
So you kind of make your way around and a little bit closer towards this kind of rock tower that sits alone in the desert. But as you make your way around the tower, you can actually see that shape kind of moves off towards the side of the wood to follow you. And then as you get kind of around it, it actually pokes its head out. And it is holding a bow and arrow, and it has an arrow kind of knocked and drawn, and is aiming it right at you, Valbella.
I
What
raise
do
my
you do?
hands.
And you weren't holding weapons or anything. You're just kind of raising your hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just read the other messages in chat out of the corner of my eye.
Okay, board.
No, the one after. I didn't read that one before.
I think it's funny.
I was in the other tab, but the little bird is kind of almost up on its tiptoes to kind of look over this wooden barrier that surrounds it, and you get kind of an echoing voice as it calls down from the top of the tower. State your business.
Oh. Oh.
Don't patronize it.
We are travelers going through the desert. We mean absolutely no harm to your outpost. We just saw it and we were curious.
A traveling caravan? Are you merchants?
Are we we're not technically merchants, are we?
No, we're not
I
selling
would say,
anything.
I would say no, but you do have like a bunch of stuff on your camel that you could sell, but I wouldn't classify you as merchants.
All right, guys, I'm gonna sell my water skin and my tan and my shoes. Come on, guys, get it. We gotta be merchants.
Not exactly, no.
Then what's your purpose for traveling the Amhara?
What is our purpose? We're trying to get to the archives, right?
Well, we're going
I mean-
somewhere, of course.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah.
Archives singular. It's the word for the book.
Yeah, the book is called.
It's just a book.
It's an old word for book.
Yeah, come on, guys. Read the dictionary. Come on.
I'm
Shut
eating
up.
Twizzlers.
But
Oh,
I understand the confusion. That's all. But the little bird kind of eyes you guys, squints, kind of cocks its head to the side,
He is
and
little.
and then he kind of releases, unlocks
He
the
accidentally
arrow.
shoots-
He shoots you right in the forehead and you die. No, he relaxes his arm and puts the arrow away and says, "All right, well, you've got permission to come up if you want."
Is he a baby? Is this a child?
No, he's just
Is this
short.
a teenager?
Well, I
I'm
don't see
offended.
why not.
I don't
Can't
know
just think
how
that's
much
possible.
experience Valbella would have with Arakokra.
Not much.
So maybe it's a little hard to judge. He definitely is short, but it's hard to tell if he's young or if that's just the way he is.
Climb, climb, climb.
I am gonna. God fucking damn it!
You had that one coming to you.
I'm gonna stay down here with Pancake and keep an eye out.
I bet you are.
The one thing to remind you of your boyfriend.
God fucking! I
The,
can't do
um,
anything in this campaign.
No, you can't.
It's getting
Now
destroyed.
that Ezekiel is gone, there's nobody here to take other insults. It's just
Yup.
me.
Yep.
God damn it!
The
Power
ladder,
couple.
the ladder is a little bit rickety as you climb it. It kind of creaks under the weight of your armor, Valbella. But
Yeah, because our
as
bones
you-
aren't hollow.
exactly. As you get the impression that maybe this ladder isn't used a lot, but as you make it to the top of the tower, you find that it's actually filled with other Aarakocra. Some of them all kind of going about their business. You can see one kind of whittling by the fire with an old stick, as well as some of them kind of sorting crates and barrels, and the very diminutive kind of owl-like one is just kind of placing the bow off to the side and waddling its
Is that
way
a
up
child?
towards you.
Is that a child soldier? Can I roll to see if it's a child?
I mean, yeah, you could make some sort of check to investigate or something if you want
Would
to try
that
to
be
discern.
perception or investigation?
Investigation, perception's fine too.
Maybe insight?
History, even for just the history of Aarakocra and what they might look like.
Let's.
Insight, maybe. Yeah, any of them are fine. Just pick which one you're highest in.
Okay. Oh, I'll do my insight because I have a +5. Never mind. I
Very well.
did roll perception,
Then,
but
then,
that was.
then we'll say that this is you examining its behavior to see if it's childlike or not.
I got an 18 on my insight.
It doesn't appear to be an actual child. It's just rather small.
Okay.
Got a bit of a high-pitched voice, and it's a little bit tiny, but
Yeah, the
um,
voice and the height threw me off.
nothing else about it implies that it might be a child in any way. It seems to be relatively
Except-
mature.
Except for his adorable little token. That's it. That's all.
But the little creature waddles over towards you and kind of gives you like a little salute almost. Though no salute that you, any of you are really familiar with.
Can I do it back?
Sure, it might be a little bit hard without the kind of the wing that it used to do it, but you can attempt it.
Tempted.
All right, do a performance check to see if you if you offend him.
Oh, nat 20! 22!
Oh,
All right,
Christ.
then you do a
I
decent
am
enough
the
job.
god!
You do a decent enough job imitating it. I'd say it's impossible for you to do it 100% because he is using his wing to actually do it. But you do a good enough job that he does not take offense to it.
Yes.
And he says, "Welcome to the outpost."
Oh, that is what this is. Okay, thank God I had that right.
Ciao. Ciao. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's an old military outpost.
I
Oh.
see.
So, does it still serve its military purposes, or has it been repurposed by the group of people here?
One of the kind of the older looking, kind of vulture like Arakakra slowly kind of rises from his spot by the fire and says, the outpost is mostly defunct now, but it is where we have lived for quite some time, so we will live here still.
Fair enough. Make a home out of things that are already built. Very. Fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Very.
Resourceful?
Yes!
The little owl goes, I'm Relu. What's your name?
Rollo! Oh my god, he's so cute!
Lunette,
name is-
pleasure
oh.
to meet you.
And I am Volbilla.
Kind of shakes your hands with one of his wings.
I
Uh,
know he's an adult. I'm sorry.
And this here is our elder Makta. And points towards the vulture.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Makta.
And that over there, sorting the crates, that's Chukri. And sort of
It
introduces
is
some of the
just-
ones that are nearby.
It is just the three of you, or are there more?
You can see kind of a couple other Arakakra, but they're all kind of busy. Some of them are flapping up by the tents, kind of sewing things and repairing. So it's more than just three, but there's not a
Okay.
ton of people here. There's probably sub 15.
You only had
Arakakra.
room for 3 tokens. I see.
I wasn't gonna busy it up. There's no point in me introducing 15 characters.
No, so valid. Even though I would.
So the little owl Relu is still kind of a little bit confused. So if you're not merchants and you're not, well, why are you in the desert? It's a bit of a dangerous journey.
They're relatively harmless, right? We could, like, tell them we're looking for something. Right? Hello?
I'm assuming you're not talking to me. You're talking to your party, right?
No, yeah, I'm talking to Lunette. And
Yeah, probably, I guess.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know specifically what we're looking for. I just know we're fucking around and finding out.
You're looking for an ancient Necronomicon that contains blood ritual secrets.
Yes, we're looking for the Sanguinar Covenant. We're
Right.
traveling to Anxidram, actually.
The old temple?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Makta kind of speaks up. Not many make that journey, mostly foolish adventurers. They do not
Foolish?
come back.
Why do you say foolish? She like tilts her head of genuine curiosity.
It is an unholy place, and the jungles that surround it are dangerous. Naive adventurers and explorers set out looking for hidden treasure, but none of them return.
Well, let's just say we need to get to it before someone else does.
Someone else? Yes.
Someone much more dangerous.
Have you
Dangerous? Who's
seen-
dangerous?
have you seen anybody else come through this particular way in the past?
Not many make this journey. You are the first in a while.
How long would a while be?
A year, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So we've probably got the upswing, I'd say.
But it is a big desert.
That is true.
Well, Raul, let us just say that there are people out there who would like to take ancient artifacts and ancient things and use them for purposes that are also unholy.
I see. And you're trying to stop those people, right?
Yes, that is what we are trying to do.
Well, I suppose that's good then. Listen, while you lot are here, do you want to buy anything? We got some merchandise that, well, people don't travel through here very often, so it's kind of hard to sell things off sometimes. You lot interested?
I am
Ooh,
very
fish.
interested, yes.
Yeah, we've got some dried fish if you want. If you're looking for more rations for your journey, we could sell you some of that. But we've got a couple other items too. Just a bit of
Like
kind of,
what?
odds and bobs.
Exciting.
He kind
I'm
of
very intrigued.
waddles his way over to some old crates
You what?
and begins to dig through a rather dusty crate. He blows a bunch of dust off of it with his wing, and then begins to rattle around through it. He pulls out a couple objects that are covered in spider webs. He's got as you. Valbella, I would say you're probably able to look over his shoulder. You're pretty tall. So as you kind of look over his shoulder into this crate, you just see like a ton of bottles sitting in this crate, all filled with the same kind of strange dark blue liquid.
Oh,
He pulls one of them out and kind of
Recognize this liquid?
he pulls one of them out and kind of hands it to you to have a look at. It does have a little kind of embossed ribbon around it that has a label around the neck of the bottle, and it is a potion of water breathing. He goes, we don't sell a lot of these in the desert. Do you want to buy one?
How much are they?
Well, for these, 10 gold.
Was he gonna try to ask me to pay 20 gold?
He was gonna ask you to pay the actual price, and then he realized he would never buy a potion of water breathing in the desert for 20 gold, so he cut the price in half to try to sell it. That's what he did.
I am so tempted to give him 20 gold, you don't understand.
you are. I gotta be honest, you're a sucker.
I am!
Look, we've got a few other things if that doesn't interest you. He kind of rattles around and finds like a long kind of tube of carved wood, and he goes, it's a blowgun. See, we carve them here, but they don't really work. They don't really work well with beaks.
Oh.
Ooh, and the darts, do you make those as well?
Yeah, I've got a special one actually. He pulls out kind of a long, sharp dart that actually looks like the vibrant plume of macaw feathers. It's got kind of these little carvings along it that look like feathers.
Oh, I will be taking your entire stock.
It's actually just one. He only has the one, but he does have a couple like normal darts, but he has just one of those kind of strange looking ones.
What does this one do, Rallo?
Well, it's magic.
Oh,
You
I
see,
do like magic.
Sometimes resources are a little bit short in the desert, so I learned this old enchantment from an old friend of mine, and well, he had more use for blowguns than me. We don't really use them. He taps to speak, but you see, it's hard to keep carving darts. So this one's got an enchantment. You shoot it, and then the dart flies back to you.
I want it!
Buy it. Buy it.
I'm getting, how much for this, Rallo?
Well, for the blowgun and for the dart, that's 3 gold each, so 6 total.
Oh,
Deal.
I would love to, purchase the blow dart and, the dart from you.
He
So,
looks happy. Good. Here, I can wrap it up in a cloth for you if you want, or you can just take it as is.
Whatever makes you happiest.
Let me wrap it up for you.
Okay.
He folds it up into a
Also,
little
where did I
cloth.
get inspiration from?
You.
Oh yeah,
You made a prayer to Brava, the sun goddess.
That's right. Okay, cool. Thank you. just
So
wanted to
he
make sure.
he folds it up into a little cloth and then hands you the little folded parcel that he's made for you that has both the dart and the blowgun within it.
And how much did he say that was?
That's 6 gold total.
I'm gonna give him 12.
Since you're probably right, but to be frank, the amount of magic items that D&D players never use is more than the amount that they do use.
yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
true.
try to
That's
use
how
it.
that's how
haven't
magic
used-
items have gone
yeah.
in literally every single D&D game that I've ever played or DM'd.
The only one
That's
that
just
we
the way
use
they are.
frequently, yeah, it's
I'm
the
gonna give
murmur
him-
ring.
I'm gonna give him 12 gold pieces.
That's why I typically try to make them very very utility based. So
I
that
have
they are more
41.
How much? Sorry, how much are you giving him?
12. I'm gonna double what he's asking for.
Well, did you want to
No,
buy
I'm
the,
gonna
the
shake
water
my
breathing
head.
potion then?
No, you keep the change, Trello.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely positive.
So you're not interested in the water breathing potion then, right?
Would you like for me to be?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you what to buy, but I just thought maybe we'd finally sell one.
You know what? I'll go ahead and purchase it too. Give me.
You are
Ow.
such a sucker.
I am. Jay has found my weakness. We'll tack on an extra 10 on top of the 12.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Here. He's all excited again, and he quickly kind of rubs a bit of the dust off the bottle and then hands it to you.
Thank you, Rollo.
Pleasure to do business with you.
It was a pleasure to do business with you too. I'm gonna make my way over to Bucktaw.
Was there anything else you had?
No, not really. Just a lot of fish and a lot of breathing potions.
I would love some fish, actually. I love fish.
Well, I can put together a parcel if you want to take it with you, or you could just eat it here. You're all welcome to rest a bit in the shade if you want.
I'll take a parcel of fish. How much?
Well, it depends on how much you want.
Oh, that's
Do you want several days worth, or just a snack?
Maybe 2 days.
All right. Maybe 4 gold for a parcel.
Yes, please. She will hand over 4 gold.
He kind of quickly grabs a bunch of like dried fish, and makes you a little bit of a parcel. Rolls it up in some cloth and then ties it off and hands it back to you. Here you are.
Thank you very much, Ralu.
Pleasure to do business with you as well.
Suts, are you going to come up? There are some very nice birds.
I'm good.
Fine. I guess you don't want any shade.
I'm literally cold-blooded.
Yeah,
You're right.
This is fine for me.
he loves the desert.
He's
So
like
you guys-
rolling around in the sand like a dog.
You guys are welcome to rest here if you wish, or you can continue on your journey, unless you have
wanted
more
to-
things to talk to.
I
Elizabeth?
wanted to talk to Muxhall because it seems like he's got information, at least about the route to Einsidram, and that could be helpful to us.
Yeah, he's resting on an old kind of wooden stool by the fire, and you make your way up to him, and he just kind of glances slightly at you out of one eye and just says, "Yes, is there something I can help you with?"
It seems that you are at least somewhat knowledgeable in the route to Einsidram, and I was just curious if you had any advice um, for us, if you've seen anything in your travels overhead to Einsidram that you could warn us against so that we could prepare ourselves.
We, Arakokra, we do not make the flight to Einsidram. It is an unholy place. We do not visit it. But the deserts surrounding, we do know them. This time of year, the nomad camp should be in the area if you wish to visit.
More money. Nomad camp, duly noted. And anything that might be considered dangerous, other than the site itself, of course.
The deserts are always fraught with danger. Keep your eyes open, and you shan't miss them.
All right. Thank you. And she makes herself. She waddles back over to the ladder. I'm done here, for the most part.
Okay.
I got a cool blow dart. Jay, will you add that to my?
It is pretty cool, I'll admit, but you completely overpaid for it.
I did. You're so right.
You
Um,
idiot.
I'd say you
I put
slightly
that
overpaid for the
help
blowgun
myself.
and you underpaid for the dart. So it balances out.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a magic blow dart. You blow it and it comes back to you. Come on.
It is very cool, I'm not denying it.
What will that appear in my inventory as?
So you'll have the blowgun in your inventory, which is added, and you can equip that like a weapon.
I have so many weapons.
And then you'll have the dart of the macaw, which will
Don't I need to be attuned to the
it's not
the
it's not-
shield? No, the shield.
Oh, the shield. I don't.
I thought I did, but maybe I don't.
I don't think I gave it attunement.
Okay, that's fine.
I think you just needed to be worthy to hold it, but other than that, it doesn't actually need to be attuned.
Okay. Where the heck is the blow dart?
So the blowgun and the dart will be
Okay.
two separate things in your inventory.
Where's the blow gun?
It'll just be called blowgun. It's not magical.
No, yeah, I mean I'm just looking at my straight up inventory.
You might need to refresh. I also
Oh.
don't know. I don't know what kind of experience Valbella has with a blowgun. Might not really be that useful of a weapon for you.
Oh, Marshall? Yeah, that's fine.
They're complicated. If you ever wanted to try to learn to use it, I might be able to. If you wanted to spend the journey practicing with it.
I will, but also, Thousand Needles is a martial weapon.
Yeah, you should be fine with martial weapons.
Yeah, that's my proficiency.
Yeah.
So, practicing on the blowgun will be a piece of cake.
Yeah, you should.
Hopefully. Okay. So when it says 25 100 range, what does that specifically mean? I know it means I can hit up to something that is
Basically-
100 feet away.
Yeah, 100 is the actual range and 25 is the accurate range. So you can shoot at anything within 100 feet, but you'll take disadvantage unless it's within 25.
Got it. Okay.
That's how range works.
Gotcha.
So 25 is its effective range and 100 is if you get lucky, you could still nail the shot. And then if it's outside 100, then there's no point in even trying.
So then, okay. Alright. Dude, holy shit. I can roll that hit DC with a +7 on the dart of the macaw. God damn.
Yeah, because you got your proficiencies, and it's also the dart is magical, so it's giving you a little bit of a +1 as well.
Alright.
To
I'm ready
hit
to
into your
go.
damage.
Are we ready to dip out?
I believe so.
I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Yeah, if you guys are
Let us
ready.
set off then.
Very well. Then you set off into the desert once more, out into the dunes, eventually leaving the kind of rock spire that the Arakokra outpost is lodged into in the distance. And the weather holds for the rest of the day as you make your way further across the Imhara, heading towards the jungles, though you still cannot see them in the distance, as you still have a little bit longer to go. So, let me just look at my notes. I forget what you rolled. So the rest of that day is uneventful. And eventually it rolls around to nighttime again, and you make camp and rest for the night. Valpella, you sort of practice to get used to a weapon that you have perhaps not used or really even ever seen in your life, but you have a knack for it and you get used to it after a pretty short time. And you feel decently effective with it. You can practice with the actual dart itself and use its property if you want. So that you can get used to what it actually does.
Excellent.
But when you fire that dart, basically a little while after it lands or hits what you're aiming at, after you shoot it at Cecilia several times.
Wait! I did not consent to being shot at.
I'm just kidding. But it after a couple seconds after it hits its target, it flies back to you. So you can read the description there because there's a little bit of kind of detail to it. Basically, hit or miss. It flies back to
They
the
never
space.
miss.
It flies back to the space that it was launched from at the end of your turn. If you're there, then it lands either in your open hand or at your feet, depending on what you want. Because you might have fired it and then filled your hands with other weapons, right? So it can either land in your open hand and you catch it, basically, or it can land at your feet if you want it to. And then turns back into a normal dart.
Excellent.
So you spend the evening practicing with that. I don't know if anybody else has things that they want to sort of progress with or do as they rest each night in the desert. You can tell me.
I am
but if
snacking
not-
on my fish.
If
Very well.
Valbella tries to hit me with the dart gun, can I try to hit her back? Just whack her in the head
Fireball.
every time. Yeah, every time. I'm gonna cast fireball on
Wait,
Every
wait,
time.
wait, I didn't wait.
No, every time Valbella tries to hit me with a dart, I play a very dissonant note back on my flute just to fuck with her.
You
Smacked
shoot the
with
dart out of the flute.
Like, oh, you think that's fun?
You think that's funny? Watch this.
Start playing Darude Sandstorm on the flute.
Okay. So you all eventually drift off for the night and awake in the early morning to begin your journey once more. Today the winds have kicked up into quite a flurry as you have to kind of navigate clouds of sand. Not enough to be considered a sandstorm that you need to hunker down with, but enough for you to have to kind of wrap some clothing around your faces and try to shield your eyes from the dust. And today kind of takes you a little bit longer to walk as you begin to travel. As the wind does slow your journey. And you make it well past midday and off into the evening. And actually, as the sun begins to set and the desert begins to cool around you into the night, Off in the distance, you notice the glow of a fire.
Should we investigate?
It is sort of
It's
kind
up
of
to you guys.
It is sort of in the general direction that you're already heading. It's not sort of out of your way. But you could choose to go around it or camp where you are right now and wait until the morning. You can do whatever you want.
I'm
So-
sorry, I zoned out a little bit. What are we looking at?
Basically, as it progressed into nighttime, as the desert got darker around you, you actually noticed off in the distance, right when you were maybe about to start camping, you notice the crackling of a fire, like an orange glow in the distance.
Oh.
So you could camp here, you could try to keep walking and go around them, you could just walk towards it. It's up to you guys. I just wanted to know what you do.
I don't think there's any reason to avoid it currently.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say it's up to you guys, because it could go either way, depending on what we do, no matter what. So.
Everybody just said that they don't care what they do.
Yeah,
Somebody's
let's
gotta make
just
the
keep
decision.
going.
Alright, let's go, yeah.
Very well. Then as you begin to approach, you can see that orange glow is coming from a roaring bonfire. And the bonfire sits at the center of a large ring of tents. All these different kind of ornate looking rugs spread across the sand to provide a surface to sit. As you all arrive at a camp.
Nomad camp, yay! I think. That's my guess.
It's a good guess.
Thank you. My brain is humongous. I say without with knowing all of the context clues given.
Okay. All right. So you kind of approach the camp, and you can see a couple people all kind of seated around this fire. Some of them kind of snap to attention as you guys approach. One of them is kind of heavily armored and rather large, and stands clutching a weapon as you guys approach. How do you react to that as I drag you onto the right map?
I
Hello?
raise my hand and cast fireball.
No.
I'm joking, I promise.
I just imagine them like standing side by side and Setsulu just slowly raises his hand and like,
Yeah.
just drags it
So it's
down.
like, no.
No?
No. You gotta be patient.
So the creature, it's kind of hard to tell they're so heavily armored, is clutching this kind of long curved sword. And they don't say anything at all. They just sort of stare at you as you approach, and you guys kind of stop as you see this person kind of walk out in front of you. But what do you do then? We know what you don't do. You don't fireball, but what do you do?
They're all pissed.
No, they're not.
I mean, literally all of them except for two.
So not all of them.
Eat my ass. Shut up.
Two fifths are not.
What
Do
what
math.
direction are we approaching? Oh, from up here.
Yeah, so you guys are
Yes.
approaching sort of from this side and
Okay.
see this character sort of block your path and doesn't say anything at all.
Hello there.
Hello. We
He's on the boat.
mean no harm.
They're not particularly tall to Valbello, but to the rest of you, this person's about maybe 6'5". So they do tower over
Pussy
you.
shit.
You
That's
can see
pussy shit.
as they get a little bit closer in the darkness, you can see that they have horns curling up the back of this helmet that they wear.
Slay. That's a sick looking piece of
It's like a
armor.
Bloodborne character.
And they
That's exactly what I was thinking.
they still say nothing.
You could juice a mean lemon on the front of that. Sorry.
Jesus.
And I'm condescending. No, I'm patronizing.
I was just making. Never mind. It's fine.
Shit, is this something? Oh, hello, boobies. I mean,
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Um,
And you
as-
guys tell me I have a problem.
as,
no,
Uh,
I have a problem.
as the armored fellow kind of looms over most of you, you see actually another woman walk up behind him. She has sort of a greenish tinge to her skin. You can see sort of scales shining in the firelight along her face.
Slay.
And she just kind of looks across at the four of you, or the five of you, and sees that you aren't brandishing any weapons, and then says, "Stone in water, you can relax. Please, join us, friends." And without saying anything, the armored fellow just stomps back into the circle of tents.
Is that a principle of his that he keeps, or
I'm afraid you will not find him too talkative.
guys? This gives me bad vibes.
I mean, they're just resting. I think
I think they seem fine.
they seem okay. I mean, we're the same way. Imagine if you were just some random schmuck in the desert who happened to run into a giant woman, a
Okay,
very
but
angry man.
compare
a
the
pansy.
last two interactions we've had. There's this one where they are being very friendly for no good reason. We haven't even told them what we're doing yet. Compared to Relu, who very reasonably held a weapon up at us from a
mean,
range and asked
yeah,
us
but,
what we
like,
were doing.
I'm assuming that this guy.
You're
with the
just mad
lemon
they aren't
juicer-
short.
Yeah,
I'm
listen.
worried.
No,
He
the-
doesn't talk.
Yeah, but he is their version of pointing a bow at us. Like they could very obviously see
I
that we're
would-
not holding weapons.
I would like to point out, when you guys approached the Knolls, Valbella did not talk once.
The Eric, you mean
Yeah.
the Eric Cochrans?
No,
the Knolls.
We
Remember,
literally
you
told you.
pretended that you didn't speak the language and you were the bodyguard and you didn't talk a single time.
yeah,
I wanted to point out that little bit of
Talk because
Poetic
Sutsulu
irony.
said I couldn't.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you guys did exactly the same thing to the Knolls.
no, like we are.
Look what we
literally
ended
these
up doing
guys
to the
in a different
Knolls.
font.
Look what we ended up doing to the Knolls.
Guys, we are literally these people, but in a different font. I'm not even joking. Like,
We are, and that's terrifying because we blew up the entire Knoll encampment. Pretty
oh my
much.
god, they're not gonna blow us. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
If we end up dying, I'm blaming y'all.
We are not gonna die. You're paranoid. You only
I am.
care about little bird man.
Relu was so sweet.
Yeah, he could have shot you in the air.
He could have, and he didn't. Anyway.
Full camp.
The large creature, armored creature, just kind of thuds to the ground and sits cross-legged in front of his tent, just staring into the fire and almost sitting completely motionless.
Bro,
But,
Stone and Water is a sick name.
The
Like
the
a warrior
Yuan-Ti
cat name.
the Yuan-Ti woman still kind of opens kind of one arm stretched to the side and says, "Please, make yourselves at home. Those who wander the desert are welcome here."
Well, thank you. I am Lunette. Pleasure to meet you.
I am Shuria. Pleased to meet you as well.
Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Lunette's the only one that gives introductions. The rest of us stand there awkwardly in silence.
Yeah, because I'm not an asshole.
I'll introduce
My
myself.
name is Volbella. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet all of you. Pray tell, why do you walk the Imhara so late at night?
Travel, believe it or not, we are also making our way through the desert.
What is your destination?
In Sidram.
She narrows her eyes at you. You seek the temple?
Yes,
Why?
we do.
Why?
Looking for artifacts, general curiosities. As you can see, some of us are not quite.
Ah, I understand. You are treasure hunters.
Yes.
She kind of almost spits it like a pejorative.
She spits it.
Yeah, she doesn't sound particularly happy about the word treasure hunter.
Eh.
Actually, I prefer the term relic hunter. Excuse you. That's out of character. That was.
I would not call us treasure hunters per se. More so. What we intend to do has more to do with artifacts and not the exploitation of them, but more so ensuring their what is the word? It is ensuring their historical value, really, I guess. We have less interest in the value of them monetarily wise and more in
Well,
potential.
you waste your time. Ein Sidram is a cursed place. I would advise you not to journey there.
You would not be the second or first person to tell us that. Why? Nobody seems to answer that.
The
Like
history of that temple haunts my people. She kind of looks at you, Cecilia. Surely you must understand.
It involves our people in the current day and age, not just our past.
How so?
And they wish to continue the work of past UNT.
You see her eyebrows kind of raise. There are still those who practice the old ways.
Unfortunately.
She furrows her brow a little bit. That is concerning, to say the least.
Well, I'm glad you think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
it is a relief that you agree.
Yeah. But we aim to put a stop to it, at the very least.
Very well, then, should Saladin grant you permission, you may rest here with us for the night.
Thank you.
It means so mad that you are
the entirety of Valbella's hair just falls off in a clump.
Yeah.
She kind of steps out of the way to allow you guys access to the center of the camp, and seated all around, each by their own kind of tent. You can see a few, all very odd-looking figures. There's an Arakokra who wears very kind of fine-looking vestments and ornate jewelry. There's a man seated cross-legged in front of the largest tent in the camp, whose face and head is entirely covered. In fact, his whole body is. You can't see any of his skin at all. And then on the far side, in the distance, you can see a man that appears to be, well, hard to say that it's even a man because they are completely covered in bandages.
So we're gonna look after this.
And they sit in front of a small table, and you can see all sorts of kind of weird objects sitting around them. And when she sort of talked about getting permission from Saladin, she gestured with one of her hands towards that fellow as she steps out of her way, out of your way, to allow you guys to make yourselves at home. Ola and Elizabeth spend some time just kind of unloading a few things from Pancake as you guys make your way into the camp. What would you like to do next?
Luna is chilling by the fire.
Aren't we supposed to like talk to this guy?
Were we?
Yeah, I thought she said we had to ask him if we could stay.
Oh. Well,
She's
better
"You
go
guys-
talk, buddy.
Nah. She was like, "Yeah, you guys can stay here if you talk to him," and you're like, "I'm staying here anyways. Fuck you guys."
I am sitting my ass down. This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one also kind of watches you guys as you make your way around the fire. You can really only see just one eye poking through the bandages, but it follows you as you sit.
So-
As for the man that you walk up to, Cecilia,
Sorry.
and I guess Valbella too if you want. I don't know if you're walking up to him and then sitting down. Is that what you're doing? You said you sat down, but...
I'm here.
The fellow here, the kind of mask plate that he wears in front of his face, has eyes decorating it.
Oh, swear.
And
Oh,
you can't actually tell which ones are his real eyes because all four of them move.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's cool.
And as you sort of make your way in front of him and sit down, his voice sort of echoes out from behind the mask. And he says, "Wanderers in the desert, you wish to join us or join us for the night?"
for the night.
I see. And you have talked with Shuria, and
Yes.
she has not denied your presence. That is interesting. Very well. You may stay with us nomads for the night.
Thank you very much.
You may sit by our fire and you may share in our food if you wish.
Thank you very much. We will do our best to take as
And-
little as possible.
We take from the desert and we give back to the desert. You may take as much as you wish. If you wish to do trade, he kind of raises one robed and gloved hand and points towards this fellow here. and says, "If you wish to trade, you may talk with Morocco." Otherwise, please make yourselves at home.
Thank you. She bows. Heads. I spent too much money.
I was gonna say, please. Please don't.
Yeah,
I go sit.
as you bow, he kind of gives you a little nod, and all four of the eyes close for a sec before they open again.
Does he have 4 eyes? I'm so confused. It's so sick. I love this design.
So you can do what you wish.
I'm chilling.
You can
Yeah.
hang out for the night. You can talk with anyone you want to. You can just head off to bed. It's up to you.
I'm gonna go have a rousing conversation with Stone and Water.
Rousing.
We'll be like, so where are you from? How old are you? How's it going? And just no answer. And he's like, very interesting. Yeah, I agree.
He wouldn't even look at you.
I am not
What's
going
your-
to type what I was about to
what's-
type.
what's
I am
your opinion
deleting
on
that.
Type it. Type it. Type it. Type it.
You
Type
don't.
Type
You,
it, type
it. Type it. Type it. Type it. Type it.
Don't type it.
Type it.
I'm gonna listen to Jay on this one, actually.
Can you just
Type it.
text me
something
what
something
you were
about
gonna
your
say?
Yeah.
voice there maybe instinctively say
Text
don't
us.
type
You
it.
just-
I was,
text
yeah, I
us.
was disappointed in myself for thinking of it.
Dude,
Very
text
well.
me. Text me. I want to know what you were gonna say. Please. I'm begging you.
Okay. Elizabeth and Awala set up your tents kind of around the circle of the nomad camp, so that you guys have a place to sleep if you wish. You don't have to steal someone else's tent.
I choose to sleep in the sand.
Yeah, you can sleep under the stars if you want.
I will sleep on Lunette.
I'm gonna dig a hole in the sand and sleep.
You would kill me.
No. I'm
just-
not wearing my armor.
I'm not sleeping.
I take it off
You're
before
still
bedtime.
very heavy.
Take 4d20 bludgeoning damage.
I'm gonna go sleep on top of Pancake, but like barely, just like vaguely
Wait,
on Pancake.
What did you say, Falpilla?
Petite.
No, you
I
are
don't-
not.
I really don't think so.
I mean, I'm sure you're not heavy for your height, but you are still 10 fucking feet
You
tall.
literally wrote yourself to be the biggest furball ever.
A healthy weight for someone who's 10 feet tall is probably like 350 at least.
Yeah.
If you recall correctly, I wrote myself to potentially be the shortest for both.
I know, but then you unwittingly made yourself like absurdly taller than every other furball.
Dude, I think you would actually
Oopsies.
kill Lunette, like genuinely.
Well, then Lunette can sleep on me.
If she wants
Fine.
to. Don't tell Lunette what to do. This is a really unhealthy relationship.
You're unhealthy.
Oh, shut the
Bitch.
fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up. Who asked? Who asked you? I didn't ask.
Me, I asked.
I think
Yeah.
that I'm quite comfortable for any human wizards to sleep on.
I think that
If
I'm
they
hanging
wanted
out
to.
with Pancake because he's the best character. And obviously is a very ample pillow because he is the best character.
He's furry and warm.
Yeah, exactly. He might spit on me a little bit, but that's because camels are...
You wake up and you've got like a camel lick
I would...
in your hair.
Isn't it llamas who spit at people?
I thought
I'm
camels
sure
do it too.
camels do it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty sure they
camels do
They're in the
too.
same... Because alpacas do it as well. All in the same
Oh.
order. They're in the same
They're in
family.
like the same, or not same family, but
Well, I mean, like, in terms of... Yeah, they're very similar. Like, you know, yeah, it's fine. I think if Sutulu did wake up with a camel lick, he would probably just let it stay there.
Burn it
He'd
off.
be like, yeah, he just cast fireball on himself. I mean, it's possible. I could do it if I chucked my necklace really, really far away.
camels and llamas are cousins.
See, told you, same family.
What?
They go to the same family reunions now. Sorry, that wasn't as funny as I thought it was gonna be.
I laughed.
really
I
laughed.
thought it was. I laughed. I thought it was fun.
I didn't hear you.
Well, I laughed.
I make a lot of
I
jokes in
didn't.
this campaign and nobody laughs, and then I feel bad.
Okay,
I'm not as
so
funny as.
you you all find places to sleep, I suppose.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
The
I didn't say no.
the other members of the nomad camp all kind of eventually retire to individual tents throughout the night, and you all can sleep wherever you wish, but eventually you drift off under the stars, and eventually it rolls around in the morning.
We wake up and the entire encampment is fucking gone.
They stole all of your stuff.
Oh
No, literally.
In the middle of the night, Pancake is gone, the tent is gone, we're all just laying on the sand. They stole all of our
Naked.
equipment. Yeah, we're just butt ass naked.
Stole the
Damn it,
clothes off our back.
they stole our clothes! How could they do this to us?
That doesn't happen. Instead, you wake up probably pretty early in the morning because you guys are not in tents, so you're gonna just wake up as soon as the sun gets bright enough to wake you up. And so pretty early in the morning, you arise, still a little bit cool in the dunes, but you can tell me what you want to do with your morning. The rest of the nomad camp eventually kind of rise around you. Some of them preparing food, some of them packing up certain things.
Do we just, like, leave? Are we allowed to do that? Just
That's
leave?
what we said we'd do.
Yeah. They don't get a goodbye, we just leave. We're like, okay, later.
Irish
Fucking
goodbye.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Ireland isn't real.
How dare you?
Not in Grand Lorien, at least.
We got our own version of it. It's
True.
called Middlemere.
Middlemere goodbye.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can say your goodbyes. You can
Yeah, let's start packing up.
trade with the merchants. You can talk to anyone you want. Do what you want.
I'm interested in at least seeing what he has.
Even though you already spent all your money.
Yeah, you spent a lot of money.
Welcome to Jay Bleeds Volbella Dry.
Actually, you are bleeding yourself dry. I hate to break this to you.
I mean,
I
I
got
know
a
it's
cool
really
blow
hard.
dart.
You
it's
literally
not,
paid twice as much as what it was.
it's not like you're gonna get into the middle of an ancient Arakocran temple and be like, okay, now I have a use for my gold. You might as well spend it if you got it, right? What else are you gonna
Yeah.
do with it? An ancient Yuan-Ti temple. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, am I supposed to make bird noises now? Until he polymorphs into a fucking bird.
And then we chuck birdseed at him.
I feel
I
like
was laughing
didn't
at
that happen?
Lunette's comment.
What
Okay.
comment?
So you make your way over towards the completely bandaged person, who is kind of setting up some stuff for the day, placing all those items that were once sitting there back out around its little table, and as it kind of sits cross-legged in the sand. But they look over at you, Valbella, and just say, "Interested in trade?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Would you like to see what I have in stock?"
Yes, please.
So the person, Moriko, begins to sift through some of the things sitting in front of them. Here, let me just get you a name tag. And they begin to pull out a small vial from a little bag. It's filled with this kind of black, brackish liquid that does not look particularly pleasant, and you can kind of see little pieces of something floating in it, but it's stoppered with a little cork, and it places it. Morocco places it on the table nearby. And then out of another bag, they pull just a teapot that has these sort of ornate decorations in its design along the side of it, and places that on the table as well. And then another potion. This one is kind of looks like mud mixed with grass. And then out of their bag, they pull a series of dice and place those in a little pile on the table. And then lastly, they pull out a long sort of wand that appears to be covered in these almost kind of glass eyeballs along its surface.
What are these?
What are these? Yes.
Trinkets.
It's Trinketville.
Well, I was giving you what they all look like so that you could pick one that you were interested in, but I can go through all of them if you want. Up to you.
I just want to ask him about all of them.
Okay. So starting at the beginning, Marco picks up again that little thin vial that has that gross-looking black liquid in it, and says, "This is purging tonic. I brew it myself. Carefully boiled hundreds of times across days and weeks. I make it from scorpion eyes and sugar sand and holy blood and the rarest of desert herbs.
What does it do?
It purges toxins and some curses, as well as any sort of unfortunate conditions one might find themselves in."
Interesting. And this, she points to the next object.
The teapot. A very useful creation for long journeys. It has a charm on it. So basically, it is a magic teapot where when you leave it in sunlight, the water within begins to boil. And while it has boiling water, you simply need to speak the kind of tea you wish to boil, and it shall create it.
This is an SCP.
Black tea, green tea, herbal tea, oolong, white tea, whatever you wish. You need
This
only
is an
speak it.
SCP. This is literally okay. And what about these one? She points to the
The muddy, grassy potion.
yeah.
I call it a potion of nature's growth. You have options. I suppose you may pour it out where you wish to cause all manner of grass and plant to grow, but you may also drink it and grow bark strong as armor. And live
What?
like a tree. Gain nutrients from the sun instead of eating.
Oh. So it just turns you into an ent.
It has a cast of bark skin and makes you not need to eat because you can gain all your nutrients from the sun.
Oh.
Or it can be poured on the ground to just grow a ton of plant life. Alternatively.
The next item?
These, I call them wild dice. You never truly know what's going to happen. So it's a set of 2 chipped little 6-sided dice. They appear to be kind of hand carved One simply must roll them, and you never know what you'll get. And as you kind of examine them, they do appear to be kind of very strange looking dice. Not a typical dice you might see in gambling and the like.
Um, I'm intrigued in the dice, and I'm gonna take a glance over at Cecilio and the teapot.
Last is the Wand of Eyes, if that interests you.
Oh, yes.
One simply needs a wave it, and they can summon an arcane eye to gain them sight.
Sight.
Clairvoyance, if you will.
So, the teapot, the dice, and... Cecilio, go the fuck away.
Hey! Interest-
Is the dice, the teapot, and the deck of cards. Those are all
It's not a
three
deck of
things.
It's a wand.
Huh?
It's a wand.
A wand, sorry. You said deck of many things, and
Yeah.
that threw my brain off.
The dice are gonna be
Those are all things that I am interested in. She kind of starts like digging through her, I guess, the inventory. A potion of healing.
You may
And
pay in gold, or you may barter with other items. It is your choice.
Oh, I have a morning star that I no longer use.
You should also have a spare shield as well.
Oh yeah, I do also have a spare shield. I don't know why that's still equipped. So she's gonna pull out the morning star that she no longer uses, and the shields, and set those down. How... If I were to trade these two things, what would I owe you?
These two items would suffice for the dice, or was the one something you were interested in as well?
Yes, yes.
I would say the dice or the wand, and one of these items would suffice for the teapot. Should you wish to trade for all of it, you will need more items or gold.
I'm gonna pull out the sickle that I have that I never use and put that there as well.
Yeah, Morocco kind of turns your items over in their hands and kind of examines them, kind of squinting a little bit to appraise them. Not bad craftsmanship. I suppose I could sell this to other travelers who are making their way south.
Was this the morning star that I used to turn an individual into ash?
I think so, yeah. This is the one that you had at the beginning.
Okay. If it is of any consolation to you, the morning star does have a story.
A story?
Yes, and is the shield what I used? Because I didn't have the lion's burden then. I used that to Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Like, so I thought he shorted some guy and he blew up.
So, both of those items actually have stories behind them that might catch
Please,
particulars.
do tell.
Of course. The Morning Star, you see that I am trading. And I actually... It was used as a point of connection. A point of divinity, one might even say, to What would be the correct word here?
Absolutely obliterate somebody.
Quite literally obliterating another individual. It is a very strong and trusty weapon.
I see. You used it to channel magic, but it itself is not magical, correct?
No. It
And
itself is.
the shield?
This one is not a point of magic, but it is quite. It serves in many purposes. I actually have used it in combat as well.
As all
In re-
shields are intended.
Yes, but not in.
Bro, he
in
is
this one,
roasting you
though.
right
Yeah, I'm not good at telling stories. Anyway, I believe. God, Jake, what was the distance that I threw this shield
I
over?
have no idea.
It was like,
I don't know. 30-ish feet or something like that.
yeah, I want to say like 30, 35.
Yeah, we'll say it's around 30.
It was actually used as a long-range weapon.
Odd.
Yes, I was able to throw it, and use it as a weapon with which to deal a final blow upon an enemy.
Marco kind of turns the shield over in their hands and just... It's not enchanted. You are saying you simply got lucky.
Or I am merely providing. I am not bartering is not something very common where I am from. But I do know that many things sell better with a better story.
I understand. I understand. These items... They are not poorly crafted. But 3 non-magical items for 3 enchanted items, it is...
Not the flute.
This is my decision.
Are you
could,
sure?
before you put down something more, let me finish.
Yeah.
It is not a perfectly equal trade. So you can make a persuasion or any or other sort of charisma type roll to try to persuade that what you have is enough, which you kind of already were starting to do, but you can turn it into a roll. And Cecilia, if you can find a way to help, or if you want to do the roll yourself, then you can do so.
Yeah. What's
hold
your
on.
what's your modifier? Because I have a
My
+2.
persuasion is +3.
Okay. It's probably going to be a sits roll then.
Okay, I'll do it.
And we'll say that Valbella, your little stories will give Cecilia advantage.
Oh, I get advantage. Sweat. This is great. So it's a 15 and a 6. So we'll take the 15.
15 is sufficient.
Cool.
Just barely, but it's sufficient. So Valbella, you tell your stories, and Murko weighs them over a little bit and says, a good story does help to sell a product. And it has been some time since we have seen travelers in this direction. Very well. We shall make our trade.
Finally, I can get this shit out of my
Swag.
inventory.
I just realized, like, the the wand and the teapot. I was like, yeah, I want that. And Valbella was like, let me just put down my old items so that... Flag. Anyway.
What?
No, I was just saying.
So Morocco hands you the dice in a small little like leather bag, a little pouch, and then wraps the ceramic teapot in some cloth, then hands it over to you, and then slips the wand into like a little leather sheath and hands it to you as well. A pleasure.
A pleasure as well. gathering up the goodies.
Did
That's
nothing
for my
else catch your
trinkets.
eye?
My trinkets. No, this will be all. Thank you very much, Morocco. It was a pleasure.
Very well. I wish you safe travels.
Thanks.
Thank you. Our trinkets, little
That's for my
bags for our
trinkets.
trinkets.
What's going on? It's Trinketville. Where's my little trinkets? What do you want to keep, by the way, Bella?
Oh no, I'm fully handing over the teapot
Thanks.
to you.
Teapot.
That was the whole point,
yep.
admittedly.
Just get me a teapot.
Yeah, I wanted to get you a teapot, little
I
gift.
kind of want the wand too, but if you want to get that to Lunette, I won't be mad.
Yeah, I was admittedly gonna keep the wild dice for me, and I think I was gonna give the wand to Lunette as gifts.
Cool, so Lunette gets the power of clairvoyancy and I get the teapot. But honestly, I'm not mad about it. I fucking love tea. This translates to Cecilia.
Maybe you
I
guys
love
can
tea as
share
well.
it.
No, it's okay. I don't want to touch anything she touches.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way over to Lunette.
I hate Lunette.
And hold out after like tying the dice to my like where Thousand Needles sits. Hold on.
Oh my god, are you okay?
Hold on.
Death.
Sorry, I
This is
started
fine.
dying. Hold on, I'm getting water.
I
Okay.
think that we should roll the dice as soon as we
Yeah,
get far enough
literally
away
that's
from
what
the
I'm gonna
kid.
do. That's what I'm gonna do.
This is bad.
I'm gonna make my way over to Lunette.
Yeah, so
And-
I don't have these made yet, I guess, apparently.
Yeah.
But I'll get them to you for next time. But that's fine because I probably wasn't gonna add some of them to your inventory anyway. The wild dice are literally unknown, so you don't get to know what they do. And the teapot, you already understand how it works.
Yeah.
And then the wand is literally just several casts of clairvoyance to spell.
Fine.
I offer up the wand to Lunette like a little, I don't know, it's in both of my hands, and I'm like, I thought that you might appreciate this gift. However, there is the caveat. While it is meant for you, she glances over to Sotulio. I know that you are both magic users, and this might come in handy for the both of you. But it was a gift intention for you. She gestures to Lunette.
I mean, if it's a gift, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'm doing
Not
this to
gonna
make you
get in
feel
on that.
guilty.
I
I'm
don't
doing
feel-
this to make...
I literally could not feel any less guilty. Like, I
No,
really
that's so
don't
fair.
give a shit.
I don't know. Leave me be.
Be gay somewhere else. I'm going to go Father Pancake. By which
Other
I mean.
way, other way.
No, where'd he go? My map
Uh,
is zoomed in.
As you guys have been like talking with Morocco and such, and divvying out the goods, Elizabeth and Noala were getting Pancake ready for the journey, so they're ready to go when you guys are.
Oh, I've been muted. Whoops.
Yeah, you've been muted the whole time, my guy.
That's
happens.
okay. I didn't say too much.
Oh, but you're very important to us.
What is it, Falbella?
It is a wand. It lets you cast a spell. I'm not proficient in the spell casting, but god damn it. It is a spell that, what did Morocco say? I think it was clairvoyance.
Oh.
Ah, holy shit! Hold on.
Thank you, Valbella.
You're welcome. I'm dying.
So you split up
Okay.
the items that you got from Morocco and tuck them away for now.
Oh no! As soon as we get out of the encampment, I'm using the dice.
Well, for a couple minutes then you tucked them away. But as you guys actually walk past Saladin, the leader of the nomad camp, he actually just sort of says, "Safe travels," and he actually reaches out his hand toward one of you to shake.
Oh,
I'll
Balbella
shake it.
takes it.
No! Damn it.
Oh, Cecilia, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah!
We all immediately get
He's
into a
cool.
fist fight over shaking someone's hand.
It's like, he's
Oh,
cool.
I
I
don't-
want to shake his hand.
I'm gonna shake my ass.
What?
He
What?
is
What?
I didn't say anything.
the gloves that he's wearing are kind of cold metal gauntlets as he shakes your hand, kind of
Interesting.
laced with the same sort of cloth that makes up his headdress. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. I got a 12.
Okay, you don't notice anything in particular, but you shake his hand.
Can I shake
and,
his hand?
His
too?
hand feels kind of cold as you shake it, but he lets go, and then you step back.
Can I shake his
will-
hand?
Okay.
You walk past him and then you turn around and come back.
I'm gonna
Me,
give him a small
Marbella.
bow as I pass away. As I pass away, as I pass him. As I die.
You can go back to him and shake his hand if you want. He's kind of turned away
I'm
from you
going
guys. But
to.
Farewell.
I give that motherfucker a shake.
Yeah, he kind of turns. He's already looked back towards the fire, but as you
Oh,
walk back up,
it doesn't matter anymore.
as you walk back up, he turns towards you and just says, safe travels to you as well," and outstretches his hand.
Should I use my inspiration to re-roll it?
It's I mean, what?
I got a 6. It's
Your
fine.
choice
I'm
how to
gonna use
use
it.
inspiration.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Okay. Perception, right? I wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I got a 7. Damn it. Fuck.
Hell.
So something does occur, but I don't think it's gonna help you at all. With your inspiration that you burn, for just a moment, Lunat, you're kind of standing nearby. You see Valbella's eyes kind of flicker with this bright yellow sunlight for a second. As that inspiration actually is a radiance inspiration. It's a secret effect, but it gives you actually a +6 to that roll as well.
Ooh.
That's still insufficient.
And you spent it on a handshake.
Still insufficient?
It is still insufficient. Yeah, that only gives you
7,
like a
8.
13, right?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. God damn it. Ah,
I'm not giving you my birthday inspiration because it's not my birthday.
I'm sorry that you wasted it, but part of that radiant inspiration is that you aren't allowed to know that it exists until you already use it.
What were you even rolling for?
to see
For
what's going
handshake.
on with his hand.
No,
Oh.
actually, she was rolling for grip strength to assert dominance.
She ain't got that grip. I'm sorry.
Damn, she got like that limp fish hand.
Best
The
to
kind that makes
use
the CEO not
strength
like
rolling, strength rolling for grip.
So you don't notice anything in particular other than just his hand is cold as you shake it, but it is a metal gauntlet, so that's to be expected.
Can I'm gonna cast.
Oh my god, I'm done.
Hi.
I can't do that.
Hi.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to cast?
Detect magic?
Sure. I haven't looked at your character sheet in a while. Is that something you know?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I believe you. I just haven't looked in a while. Sure.
I know I can do magic. I fucking rarely ever do.
Okay, as you cast Detect Magic, Saladin surges with arcane energy.
Fuck.
Evocation magic, focused sort of incredibly powerfully in his entire body.
Curious. Okay.
Almost to the point where he sort of the detect magic makes him almost completely glow in like a white silhouette instead of
Oh.
just the person that you saw before.
That's so very fucking curious.
And interestingly enough, you kind of look down as you kind of shield your eye a little bit from his glow. You look down, your hand has a little bit of that glow too.
Cecilia's?
Cecilia's does as well.
Yeah, because I'm super cool, obviously. He just give us like magical like. He just give us magic diseases. He was like, "Here you go, have some germs, have some glowing bacteria."
That's interesting. Alright, I'm gonna knock this away in the brain dome for later.
Oh, I should write this down. I just realized.
Yeah,
Whoopsie.
because I'm definitely
Hold
not.
on.
Nerds.
I'm the only one writing it down. There would be nerd singular.
You're right, nerd.
Thanks. No, literally, it's fine.
All right, so you tuck that knowledge away and join Elizabeth and Awala, who are ready to go and set out with Pancake whenever you wish.
Let's bounce.
Text magic doesn't use a spell slot?
If you have it as a cantrip.
It's not a cantrip, but
Is it
you
because
might-
of
you might have
Furbolg?
a Furbolg thing.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
isn't it like a racial feature?
Yeah, you
when
get
you're using it.
you get a detect magic per short rest as a Furbolg,
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I
as
didn't
well
use
as a disguise self.
Yeah.
But if you look at your features and traits and scroll down to your racial traits, you can. There's a little checkbox to make sure you keep track of those.
Now I'm just remembering when Soot's asked if if he could use disguise self on someone else, and you just said, "Hey, can you reread the name, please?"
I'm sorry.
That was funny. But you guys all join Pancake, Elizabeth, and Awala, and you depart from the nomad camp, leaving them in the distance. So you
Yeah,
guys said that you wanted to stop after you left the camp. How far do you get before you do it?
120 feet at minimum.
Like, do you like kind of get around to dunes that like you're completely gone,
Yeah.
or do you
We gotta be
just, like,
safe about
stop
this.
a couple feet out?
Wide berth. We give
Yeah.
everything a wide berth.
A very
Okay.
wide berth.
I was just curious, but I'll bring you to an empty desert then.
We all turn into chickens. Fuck.
Wouldn't that be funny?
All right, baby. What am I doing here, Jay?
Okay. Let me bring you to an empty desert so that you can continue your walk and
Roll
Then-
some motherfucking dice.
This is just like the hit game Dungeons and Dragons. I can't believe we get to roll dice, guys.
well, I mean, yeah, they are 2d6s, so that's what you're gonna be rolling.
It's like
Excellent. Excellent. I had them ready.
I blow up.
So yeah, roll 2d6 and tell me what you get.
I got a 5 and a 3.
Okay. So hang on for one moment. Valbella, you're standing here next to Lunat.
Oh my god.
And everyone's kind of walking along. You guys are heading in an eastward direction, but you guys pause for a sec. Valbella, you toss the dice. Where do you put them?
I'm gonna.
I'm presuming
Bah.
not very far from you, but
Yeah,
wanted to
like
know where you put 'em.
behind us.
okay.
Oh, next to me, I see how it is.
Yeah, next to you.
Yeah, so you kind of toss the dice out and they roll to a stop in the sand. And those results of yours are sort of face up, but for just a second they flash with like a green light. And then they begin to shift away from the cube dice shape that you're used to as they kind of split open, like little seeds. And they begin to grow into. If you just give me 1 second. They begin to grow into a large bramble of thorny plants as a spell of entangle is cast
fuck.
from the spell's direction.
God damn it! Son of a bitch! Right on top of me. Are you fucking kidding?
No. Oh, right on top of me too. To be
No,
fair.
I am. My whole body is in there. Only like part of yours is.
Cry about it.
I'm literally gonna cry about it.
Hey, some might call this karmic reckoning.
What the fuck? Why do I need karmic reckoning? Fuck you.
Poison spray,
That was
motherfucker.
literally
Still on
that
poison
was
spray.
Genuinely a year,
I
genuinely a year
Still
ago.
holding on to that.
It was literally over a year ago. Are you fucking kidding me?
Love
so,
you.
God,
I would
what?
say Valbella, you're in range too. So
Bit-
both of
yeah, I'm in it too.
both of you guys make strength saves as vines shoot out in all directions from the dice as they grow like seeds.
So I got a nat
16.
20.
All right, you save.
You
With
got a
minus-
19.
I did get a 19. Yes.
It is still a nat 20, but the 19 saves regardless.
Slade.
No, it doesn't count anymore. It's a 19.
I got
Yeah,
a
can I
16.
re-roll because I hate Cecilia actually?
Valbella, what'd you get?
I got a 16.
Okay, so both of you managed to save, and so you don't get wrapped up in these vines as they shoot out of the ground. Instead, you guys kind of stumble back out of it as this massive briar forms in the middle of the desert.
Where are my dice?
They're somewhere buried in that massive square of brambles.
Well, I gotta go digging for them. I'm gonna go find my fucking dice.
I can just set it on fire.
You do have to find
No!
the dice.
What if you burn my dice?
Oh my god. What are the dice made out of?
I think
They're
they're
wooden.
wood dice.
Oh, never. Just,
They were carved sort of like almost from marble.
oh, so they're
They were a little
Marble.
chipped and kind of old looking, but yeah.
Well, still, I don't want anything to happen to them, so I'm gonna
okay.
dig
You have fun with
through
that.
the bramblies and
You know, I could just
Get
cast
my-
a spell. It's fine.
get my dice.
You hunt for
want
them,
my
but you can't.
dice.
You hunt for them, but you can't find them.
What? No! I want my dice.
You might have to wait for the spell to end
Yeah.
if they like turn back or something.
Nope, you
I'm
get
gonna
one shot
fall
with the dice.
back into the sand like a petulant little child.
Oh my god. I'm gonna set you on fire.
Do it. I'm upset. I
Can I
lost my
set
dice.
Valbella on fire?
Lynette will pat Valbella gently as she waits.
Can I try to
Nice.
set Valbella on fire?
Art, is this real?
Maybe, maybe not.
I'm a
Who knows?
grass type. You can't do this to me.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
So you waiting for the spell to be up?
Yeah, I want my dice.
Okay, so you wait for a full minute, and eventually those thorny vines begin to wither and shrink back down under the sand, eventually all disappearing into just a flat dune once more.
Dice?
You don't see them.
No.
One trick pony.
But I would actually say that Valbella, you probably still have detect magic on, since you didn't walk very far. So it would probably still be active. So as the effect fades and you kind of sift through the sand for your dice, you don't find them, but you do notice that the little pouch that they came in is just kind of very faintly glowing.
Oh, can I go look to the pouch?
You open it, but it's empty. There's just sort of that faint glow.
Damn. Made you think they were in the pouch, didn't he?
So they're not here anymore? I don't have my dice?
You don't see
Yeah.
them.
Man?
don't see
Meanwhile,
them.
I am drinking tea out of my teapot.
What
It's not a
what are you
one-time.
saying?
Yeah,
What are you saying?
Cecilia, while they're waiting a minute for the spell, you put the teapot out, wait for a minute for it to boil in
Yep.
the sun.
I sure do.
What kind of tea?
Chai. Obviously.
Very well. Yeah, so it
Very-
immediately kind of
Tea.
as you announce that to the teapot, you begin to smell like the herbs brewing
Yes.
in the tea.
Let's go.
I'm gonna smash your teapot.
No, what the fuck?
Valbella,
I won't.
you have the glowing pouch, but there's no dice inside of it.
I'm so genuinely upset about this. Can I, like, shake it out in my hand?
There's still nothing in it.
Nothing?
Valilla, do you want some tea?
I want my...
Okay, well, I can't help you with that.
And there's no glow from coming from like where the dice landed or anything.
No, that effect is faded, but just the bag remains, and it's got this kind of soft aura to it. But
I
Yeah,
wish
that-
I
that-
knew.
that-
I
let me-
will say, Valbella, the soft aura is conjuration magic.
Valbella, let me see the bag. Let me try identifying.
She holds it out to... She's, like, sniffling and trying not to cry.
Cecilia was dumping hot tea into his mouth.
It's okay.
From
It's
the
okay.
teapot.
I'm gonna try identifying the bag.
Yeah, so you spend some time to identify it as Cecilia just smugly sips tea.
Yep.
But as you begin to understand the bag, you realize that this conjuration magic, this very faint aura, is just very slowly getting a little bit stronger every minute or so. You estimate that it will eventually reconjure the dice.
Lunette hands the bag back to Valbella and just tells her to wait.
Yay.
There you go. She'll pat her on the shoulder.
She wipes away her tears. Cecilia, I think I will take you up on your tea offer.
It's a little spicy. Do you want that?
It's okay. I'm okay with that.
I just realized that we don't have teacups. He's been pouring it straight into his mouth.
Pour it into
From
my
the teapot.
mouth.
I mean, to be fair, you guys are carrying like the barrels and water skins and stuff, so you probably have like some little wooden cups that you could use, or bowls for eating as you travel. You would need something to be able to eat.
Cecilia
out.
would never drink out of a bowl. What the fuck?
No, he pours it straight into his mouth, but it's still in the sun, so it's still fucking boiling.
Well, yeah, but literally that's what I'm saying. He's resistant fire
fire,
or
yeah.
whatever. So
God
he
damn
can
it.
literally just dump boiling water into his mouth. So he's just dumping boiling hot tea in his mouth. He's like, "Oh, you want some?" and starts pouring it. And I'm Valbella. Would you like some tea?
Would you like some?
Would you like some tea? Just starts throwing boiling tea at you. Here, open up.
I hate to admit that I would like some tea.
This is my teapot.
You
Fucking
guys are just
hijacking my teapot.
I
sitting
got
in
you the tea.
in the
Didn't,
sweltering
also, didn't you
desert.
offer tea?
Yes.
You guys are just sitting in the sweltering desert drinking boiling hot tea.
Listen.
Lunette likes
Wait,
tea.
in theory,
works.
get it like iced tea?
No,
You'd
No, it's
have
boiling.
to wait.
it's boiling.
We could in theory, though.
Okay,
Lunette
listen.
likes tea. Lay off.
The
Come on.
theory is if you drink hot things during hot weather, it cools you down. So you guys should actually feel grateful that I am giving you boiling hot tea because you'll cool down with your little petite little fucking
I will riff
cool
off the
weather.
fucking
self.
teapot
Fuck
if you don't shut up.
I will literally kill you in your sleep.
In Minecraft.
That was in character.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I unplugged my headphones when I was saying that is such a fucking escalation.
Cecilio takes his tea very seriously.
Okay. So you spend some time drinking a bit of tea and then get packed up and ready to go again?
Yeah.
Very well. Then you set off across the desert once more. And make some good progress today in your journey. Yeah, feeling very refreshed by your tea break. As you begin
Tea
to
is the best tea.
as you begin to
objectively.
draw closer and closer towards the jungles that surround Ain Sidram. As you walk today, you notice that the winds have whipped up again, and these clouds of dust are still kind of surrounding you. But this time, as you travel, you actually don't need to cover your faces. As you walk across the desert, and these clouds of sand whirl up around you. They don't crash against you and chap your faces and kind of hurt your eyes. They actually swirl right around you in a whirlwind and then disperse as you walk.
Magic!
And so you don't find your progress impeded by the weather today. In fact, you make very good time before you have to eventually camp once more for the night.
It's magic. Thanks.
Thank you for the acapella. Please never do it again. About roughly where are we on this big map, by the way?
You're getting there.
Cool.
Okay.
And so you camp for the night, and eventually awake in the morning to the cool air of the desert before the sun rises, and pack up your things once more, and get ready for another day of travel. Valbella, as you get ready in the morning and kind of strap some more pieces of your armor on and get ready, you actually notice the little pouch that you carry on you actually rattles as you tuck it away into your bag.
My dice!
Told you.
I reach in and I throw them. No,
I don't know. They're fun.
Valbella just immediately rolls them again and starts sobbing when they're gone.
Well, listen, they rematerialize pouch, so hypothetically, you wouldn't have to stand there and wait. You just do it and be like, oh, that's cool, and then just go on with your day. I'm just saying this because I think the dice are cool. You don't actually have to do
funny. No, I want to use them again, but I have to be
Nice.
practical about it.
Can't wait
I
for you
think
to
an-
roll them right next to us and it turns into a fucking
An
fireball.
8? We at least know what an 8 does.
Or do you?
You got a good idea of what an 8 is.
Do you? Are you sure? You sure?
I'm gonna write. This will be the only thing that I write down.
I can write it down too, just in case you forget.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I know, because you'll forget.
Anyway, what's on the gay agenda today?
We're still going
Murder.
back to drum.
Rolling the dice.
We're not gonna roll the dice yet.
I think we should.
I'm going to punch you.
Please don't. It'll ruin my perfect face.
Good.
All right. So, you make another trek across the desert today. Today's weather is pretty sweltering, but eventually, past noon and then past the early afternoon, you begin to see along the very edges of the horizon something sort of different. At first, just kind of black shapes, and then as you grow closer, you see green. And as you draw even nearer towards the afternoon, you can see that indeed a jungle stretches off ahead of you as you draw nearer and nearer. And sort of just before evening, maybe about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you estimate, you reach the tree line of that jungle.
Like I'm going for a swim.
That I have to be honest, that looks like a very shitty swimming spot.
We're in the jungle, baby.
So look at how pretty the flower is.
And
That's
so as
true.
Yes, but it is like 3 feet wide.
This is not water, to clarify. This is the ground. Yes, that is water.
This is 20
I was a
feet.
little confused.
As you reach the edge of the tree line, palm trees spring up, kind of towering over you all, and thicker roots entwined at their bases as this massive jungle sprawls off into the distance. Some of it quite dark with the evening sun. Nearby, you can see sort of a small little pool of water that sits nestled in between the foliage.
I am at least going to inspect the pretty flower.
I was gonna say there might be piranhas in there. So,
Do piranhas exist in Grand Lorien?
yeah, question. Do predatorial fish exist? I bet they do.
Yes, they do.
20 bucks says that. Piranha
color?
exists.
What color do we think would look prettiest on lady?
I'm literally going to shoot myself with fireball right now. If you
No,
don't
you going to back away.
Go up to Leandro and flirt with him, but
I
I
really
can't
never
be-
do.
you do. You do.
Not in a no.
I didn't even hear what was said. I keep zoning
Oh,
out.
it's just Bella wanting to give you a little cute little flower.
Hey,
Yeah,
no.
so what? Huh?
Specifically, what I asked was,
What you
what
asked?
color flower would look prettiest on a lady?
The flower of shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a shit.
The flower.
Yeah, you
of
wouldn't know
my
because you like
dick.
men.
He's like crying.
I think pink. Oh wait.
Luna is for
Yellow.
bullying
Maybe
him.
the yellow one. The
It's
yellow.
not my
one.
fault. I'm fifth wheel.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
get the yellow, one.
to match the Donald Duck.
Yellow to
Ah!
match.
Subtly.
Match what?
Nothing.
This Willie was fifth wheeling and he feels it every day. Pancake is his only friend. This is so
I'm
sad.
plucking up the flower.
The piss flower.
Shut up.
I'm gonna ruin it for you.
Vabel, you kind of went to both of the little springs. You can actually see something swimming below the surface, sort of small little fish darting around.
Did they? Oh. Oh, it kind of looks like there are fish in there. Anyway, do they react at all when my hand goes into the water?
Yeah, they dart away from you.
Oh, thank God. Okay, we're good.
No, they bite your hand. And you die.
Fucking Megalodon jumps out.
You stick your hand in and they start eating away the dead skin like in a spa. Yum, 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 yum.
Anyway,
Sorry.
a gift. Another gift. And then I immediately return to my forward march pose.
Bro, Lunette keeps getting all of these fantastic
Would you like a
gifts,
pretty
and-
flower,
No,
Cecilia?
I'm
Cecilia, would you
good.
like a pretty flower?
Yeah. Give me
You
one.
Would you? Would you?
Yeah. Never mind,
Okay,
I don't know.
I also go grab the pink one for Soot.
Yay! He doesn't look like it, but he is
The-
happy
And they-
on the inside.
If for my friend.
The fish in that little pond dart away too.
Okay. good.
No, they
Those
They
ones eat
fucking
you.
bite off my hand.
Yeah, those ones eat you.
Yeah, those ones say, you look tasty.
So the jungle stretches off ahead of you, with the dense trees that will need to be weaved through. What do you do? What do you do?
Is
We
it
go.
dark in there? Question.
It's not like pitch black, but it is dark because there's towering trees over you that
I
are
see.
blocking out the sun. Plus, it's kind of getting towards evening.
I will
Is it
do
like
something.
dark or just kind
No.
of dim?
It's just dimmer.
Okay.
Do we need a light to see?
No, I wouldn't say you need a light, but
Okay.
you will eventually.
Cool. I can Google flame magic if we need something to see.
No, mine's cooler.
Oh, fuck off. You're the ice one, I'm the fire one, and we have our own little unique skill sets, okay?
All right.
Let me cause forest fires. Only you can
To be honest, dancing
forest
light
fires.
sounds less harmful.
Yeah, but maybe I want to. Maybe I want to be Smokey the Bear's natural enemy.
Albella, he's trying to destroy the world's rainforests.
Please do
Yeah,
not.
I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Please
so-
do not.
Presuming that you travel further into the jungle. Yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I like to hear you guys say it, so I don't decide that for you. Then eventually, as it does begin to get dark, and Cecilia, maybe you need to use your lantern a little bit more. You actually notice some strange silhouettes in the trees. And as you draw a little bit closer to them, you can see several tents kind of sprawled out throughout a clearing.
That's ominous.
So, Cecilia, as you walk a little bit into the clearing, you can see that there's sort of a makeshift camp set up, but it looks to be abandoned. You don't see anyone sitting around.
Hmm. I'm gonna go look at this tent.
All right. Are you looking inside the tent?
Yeah.
The tent is kind of dirty and worn, very, very weathered, as is the little pack that sits next to it. They appear to be, well, make a history check for me.
Cool. Oh my god, that's one of my best things. I say, watch me get it. Okay. Oh man, I got a 13.
I'd say that's sufficient enough for the most basic information about it. It's definitely like probably months old
Damn.
at the very least. This appears to be rather abandoned.
I'm gonna dig through the pack.
All right. You pull open the pack and begin to sift through it. Some of the contents are a little bit water damaged. It's kind of very wet inside the bag, as is kind of the rest of the sack itself. It's kind of drenched, but you find kind of coiled rope placed in the bag, but quite old looking. Some rotten rations are tucked away in there, as well as some damp clothing. And you also find some spare candles tucked away. They appear to be fine.
I'm gonna take the candles.
As you pull them out, you kind of expose what's sitting underneath them. And you find this little leather circlet.
Oh.
With sort of a small metal plate at its front.
Does it have text on it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
But you can make another history to see if you
Okay.
already know what it is.
Okay, well, I got a 23, so...
Then, yeah, you recognize one of these. You've probably seen them used before in your trade. It's a headlamp circlet. So the little metal plate
Oh.
seats a candle, and then the plate reflects the light out in front of you. Hence the spare
Interesting.
candles.
Huh. That's convenient.
And also
But
tucked
I-
away is a small little stone. At first, it kind of just looks ordinary, but its shape is a little too structured. It looks carved.
I'm gonna grab it.
It's almost kind of a diamond shape.
Ooh. Rocks.
Uh, a diamond if one of the points was kind of longer than the others.
Interesting.
You can make one more history to see if you know what that is, because based on your history, you might actually know this one too.
Damn it! I got a 7.
Okay. This one you don't
L.
recognize. Maybe not used in your travels, but
I'm gonna take it.
very well. And then last but not least, you kind of search the tent too, I'll say, and you find tucked away some old pieces of parchment that are very waterlogged, though some of it is salvageable.
Yeah.
And there's
Can
a little
I-
bit that you can read.
Yay! What does it say? I gotta write this down.
You don't technically have to write it down. I do have it for you here.
Listen, I copy and paste everything into my notes.
Fair enough. But here it is.
Oops.
Aw!
So as you kind of read this rather messy looking handwriting, only part of the page is legible, the rest too water damaged to read. But the part you can read, the passage, says that I believe we may be drawing close. In Old Nyanhari script, it is called Ain Sijram. The name means the Maw, I believe in reference to the Yuan-Ti's devouring god. The name was coined by the Nyanhari back during the Unification Wars, mostly in warnings not to travel near the temple. Should our fortune hold, our expedition should only last another day or two. I do worry, however. The rustling in the tall grass has been drawing ever nearer by the day.
I know.
Whatever stalks us is testing the waters, so to speak. I suppose I shall, and the rest is illegible, too damaged and rotten by water to read.
Can I tell what made these marks over here?
The other tent appears to be kind of a little more damaged than the one that Susulio's rifling through. You can see sort of some tatters and almost cut marks. I'll let you make a survival check, Valbella, though you're not going to be able to get any assistance with it. And it'll be a decently hard DC because I really doubt that you will have seen this before.
Well, guess what, Jay? Nat 20, 25.
Fuck.
Then with a 25, I'll say you don't know the exact creature, but it does feel familiar to something. So it isn't an exact I know what that is, but it feels reminiscent of something you may have encountered before. And that reminiscent feeling that you get is you've seen claw marks similar to that done by dragons.
Immediately on a mission. Is there anything else near in the area that would indicate a dragon attack?
You can make an investigation check if you want.
Okay. That's
you
gonna be...
if everybody else, if you want to like tell everyone that you're looking for something and let them help you, you can have
Yeah.
advantage on it.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone else like what key things to be on the lookout for.
Okay. Then
Scorch marks.
everybody helps.
Okay. Oh, it's an 11.
With advantage.
Yeah, I got an 11 and a 9.
Okay, then
Oh.
I'll tell you what you don't see. You don't see the scorch marks. Those would be obvious. There are none. The only
Right.
evidence of a fire is their campfire, which has been long extinguished and is really just a pile of ashes. But other than that, you do not see any burns because those would be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your highest roll?
11.
Okay, then yeah, that you definitely don't see that. With an 11, then the only other thing you notice as you kind of walk across the clearing, your boot kind of kicks some of the dirt, and it's been kind of tamped down, almost as if someone shifted the dirt around with their foot. And as you sort of like uncover some of that dirt, you find old, hardened, blackened bloodstains. Somebody covered up the blood.
So is it safe to say that this whole area here is blood.
Not the whole area, just sort of small little drops here and there, but you just kind of accidentally uncover some.
Am
but
I able to
that's-
follow it concisely?
No, it's just sort of spread across the clearing. But what I'm saying is, not only do you just notice that little bit of blood, you realize that it has been covered up more so.
Ugh.
Okay. I want to look in this little clearing here.
Okay.
Behind the tent.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
More blood.
You don't find any back there.
Okay. So have you looked in this yet?
Yeah, I
Okay.
snatched some shit out of it.
So it's, I don't know if you shared what you read with the others or not, but
No, because they were kind of on the other side. But I'm gonna pass it to Lunette, and also, while Valbella was over here, I'm gonna give her the headlamp thing and the candles.
What are you passing to me?
No, well, it's not a note.
And
It's just
What are you
parchment.
passing to me?
Parchment. Oh my god, okay. Lunette gets text to read, which is about the maw, and Volbella gets the headlamp contraption with.
I'm putting it on.
Okay, you do that. Oh, and also while Lunette is here, I'm gonna hand her the the diamond thing and be like, "Hey, identify this
Ooh.
queen." Thanks.
I will sit down and do that.
Right now I'm over here identifying this stuff. Or not identifying, looking at, investigating.
I
okay.
want to go look at the water.
The crates are made of kind of a rotten wood, and they are nailed shut, so you will have to pry them open, Valbella.
I'm prying them open. I'm smacking them open.
All right, yeah, you wedge something kind of in between the gap, and then pull it open, and the boards are old and rotted, so they kind of just splinter and give way as you barely put any effort into it at all. And as you open them up, you find them full of food that is very clearly gone off. It is completely spoiled, and you kind of get not only the smell of rotten wood now, but the smell of rotten food as well.
Oh.
It just sort of hits you as you open them. Cecilia, you're probably close enough to smell it as well.
He's just like, ew, what the fuck?
I'm gonna board it back up.
Cecilia,
Well-
you can see fish kind of floating around below the surface
I'm
of
gonna
this little
stick my
pond as
hand
well.
in the. I want to stick my hand.
Okay.
Come bite me, motherfucker. And I'll boil the shit out of you.
Yeah, you hold you hold your hand under the water for a little bit, and eventually one of them kind of like cautiously darts a little closer, and then just kind of like nudges at your hand a little bit. What do you do?
Aw. Can I try to pet the fish?
Okay, make an animal handling, I guess.
Yeah. Where the fuck is that? Oh, there it is. I got a 12.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a con save for the fish,
What the fuck you mean con save?
and we're gonna see if it rolls under you because it's skittish. Oh, that was a natural one. The fish lets you pet it.
Yay!
In fact, you estimate, Cecilia, you could just scoop the fish right up if you wanted to.
Oh my god.
Oh, he's our friend now.
Oh, we don't
We're
exactly have
getting
anywhere to put
soft
the-
tacos
we-
later. The
we don't exactly
teapot.
have. I'm not putting him in the boiling teapot. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait, hold on. I might have something.
Oh my god.
I like having friends.
Put him in his natural habitat where he is
Yeah,
thriving.
I'm not trying to mess up.
The fish is
natural-
small. It's small and smooth, kind of with these very shiny scales that have a sage green color.
Oh, cute. I'm just gonna keep petting the fish a little bit and be like, "Oh, that's a good fish. You're not annoying like everyone else here. You just sit there.
I'll kill you.
You didn't hear me say that."
Bruh.
Anyway.
Alright. So you pet the fish for a little bit. Then
Thank
what
you.
do you do?
I'd love to catch the fish.
I am identifying a diamond thing. What's what is
Okay.
it actually?
Yeah, so it's like a small little just gray stone that's shaped like a diamond, but one of the sides is like kind of elongated. And so you spend some time casting Identify as the others hunt around the clearing. And as you finish casting, you realize that it's a navigator's stone. And so if placed in water, it acts as a compass.
Oh.
Swag. I want that
Fun.
back.
No.
The sort of light stone is
Please.
enough to, and the enchantment on it is enough to float it, and it will spin like a compass.
Ready to continue.
Please give me
Thanks for the stone. Thank
no,
you.
please. Please.
Fine.
As
Fine.
you
Have your stone.
as you pass the stone over to Cecilia, you all hear rustling in the bushes around the
Oh, no.
clearing.
Oh shit.
I am hyper honed in.
Just-
Where's it coming from, Jay?
All sides, Valbella.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
I'm drawing my
you-
the lion's burden and
Sprint back towards the center of the clearing to be
Yeah,
near your party
yeah.
members.
yeah. Immediately, I'm going to start I'm going to prepare to cast Bless.
Okay. As you begin to prepare that, all around you begin to see shapes darting through the jungle,
Shit.
and eventually they kind of move all throughout the bushes, like little blurs, kind of too fast to see, in between tree trunks and in between the bushes. All kind of moving in this circular pattern, dancing at the edges of the tree line around you, right at the cusp of the clearing. And then you get a good look at one creature as it darts out to attack.
It's a dinosaur. I knew it.
Hunched over with
fucking knew it.
small upper claws, but very hefty legs and large talons on those feet. The creature kind of sharp eyes and very quickly begins to dart out of the bushes directly towards Cecilia.
Oh,
And that's where we'll end the session for today.
damn, you evil. You evil for that one.
we're at 3 hours, so we don't have time for a combat encounter.
That means we gotta do combat on my birthday. This is awful.
L.
And
L.
yeah, I'm
means you
taking
get-
an L on this
You
one.
get your birthday inspiration.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. Actually, no, combat's pretty fun. So.
Okay, so we'll pick back up again as a raptor darts out of the trees.
I
I'm
fucking
gonna
hit
pull a
it like
Chris
a
Pratt.
baseball.
I'm gonna pull a Chris Pratt and be like, "Easy, girl."
Chris Pratt does that thing with his hands. Dinosaur, stop.
I'm gonna do that thing in Jurassic Park.
Like an animal handling check. He
Yeah,
basically just not 20 his animal handling check. That's what he did.
Like 6 times or something.
yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, so we'll call it here and we'll pick up again next week if everybody's able to.
I'm good.
Good for it.
Yeah, me too.
If you guys don't show up to my birthday session, I'll be pissed. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. I will be very upset.
Yeah, if it's your
Actually,
birthday
I'm
and
canceling.
everybody else, if everybody else doesn't show up, then you get to choose which items you steal off of them. That's the rule.
I'm
That's your
not
present.
stealing.
That's your birthday present. You get to take it from
Yay.
somebody else.
I don't even know what I would take. Like, to be very honest with you, I
Yeah,
really
I know.
don't know.
I'm actually canceling and quitting the campaign forever.
No, please.
Yeah, I know. You don't really have much to take when I sort of custom design a lot of the items
Yeah.
for you guys.
I steal all of their money, and that's it.
Oh no, my 11 gold.
It's 10 more gold that I can give to Leandro.
Yeah, I have to fund his
Yeah,
whatever he's doing.
I would really quickly like to say, I like how you were like, Valbella, stop spending money, and then you literally
Hey,
just straight up gave Leandro
listen.
money. Like, for no apparent reason.
couldn't-
If we died.
I felt very. I feel like I could have done more, but I was like, oh shit, everybody wants to leave like right this second. Here's some money, I guess.
Why? What was the point?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, how much gold was it even? You
It's
gave
like
to
10
Leandro?
gold.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little different. It's like
Here,
20
here you
things.
go.
Yeah,
Here's
but
the-
I actually got things for it.
That's true.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I was thinking like, I was like, ah, man, we're leaving, and I don't know if I'm gonna die or something. I was like, I gotta give them something good.
How
And
dare you
everybody
have
was,
such low
and
confidence?
then everyone
I
was like, oh, we gotta
know.
go, and I was like, okay, here's some money. I hope we don't die.
Yeah,
Alright.
meanwhile, he
You
makes
guys-
that in a single day.
Listen,
Like
you
a
guys,
single
you
hour.
guys will be fine. There is the ever-present possibility that Cecilia goes absolutely nuts and joins the cult. So I don't know. That Sanguine Archive is looking really good and really interesting to me. So maybe.
So Tsulu does anything ever that would like rip him away from the group, I think that Valbella would have a breakdown. Just for
Listen,
just
I'm
food
just,
for
I'm
thought.
just saying. The book seems really interesting.
You can get the
be
book
glad.
and not be evil.
The book is very much cursed. I hate to bring
it do be a Necronomicon.
It is literally the Necronomicon.
I will say you will be beat up.
It is a Necronomicon that is targeted towards the people that he is a part of. So yes,
True.
it would very much make him very evil very quickly. Unfortunately.
All right, so we will we'll say that it's a yes for next week then. If anybody has to
Yeah.
cancel, just let me know. As
I will
early as you
never
can.
cancel. If you
And,
cancel on my birthday again, I swear to God.
Yeah, but if
I will
something
come
comes
to
up,
your
you
house.
never know. Sometimes things come up that we can't avoid. So if you're like in the hospital, I'm not gonna make you play D&D.
No,
I would
I'd
play the I would play
I
the
would
Indian
play-
hospital.
I would
I
also
probably
play
would
D&D in
too,
the
but
hospital.
They would
um,
have to give me sedatives to stop me from playing D&D.
True. But yeah, we'll get back next week to our fight against the clever girls. I would like to add that was the raptors that covered up the blood.
Oh, they're smart.
Oh.
Yeah, they're raptors.
I'm sorry.
They set a trap.
So
for you.
maybe it wasn't a dragon. Maybe it
Yeah,
was-
no,
That's what
he said.
I literally
he
said dragon like.
Yeah,
That's what,
he
that's what I was
said that.
implying.
yeah. When he said that, I immediately said it's dinosaurs.
I was
in
trying
my
to
head.
emphasize
It's-
not a dragon, but similar. You would have seen similar types of claws and stuff on dragons. So that's what I meant, yeah. But you are hunting down the cultists of a dragon god, so it's not too far.
Oh.
right.
swag.
Dinosaurs are basically dragons. They just don't.
They
have wings.
honestly are. I remember when I was a
And-
kid, I thought maybe that like dragon tails came from some dumbass peasant finding a fossil or something.
Oh my god. Probably.
I mean,
Possible.
yeah. Makes sense, but so there's definitely a tie there between all of those reptilians. So we'll get back to it next week and see how things go. Other bookkeeping, I think we're good to go for Friday unless anybody else gets sick or if we have to cancel. But I think we'll get back to Dreamwalker on Friday.
Yay, Dreamwalker.
7:30. Dreamwalker is very fun to watch, so tune in if you're able. I think next session they'll be heading up to High Branch, a district of a treehouse city that is full of crooks and thieves. And we'll see how that goes for them. We'll see what kinds of nefarious items they buy off of the black market. So yeah, and then on Mondays is Spelljammer, which is Beyond the Eyes, our Spelljammer campaign, the little mini campaign that we're doing, to celebrate the release of the book. They have just been teleported across the universe by the whirlpool Sinjin's Eye in the Sea of Cassis, and they are now stranded out there beyond the rift, and they're going to attempt to return a dragon egg to a lunar dragon, and we'll see how that goes. All right. Those are the campaigns that are running. That reminds me, I should update our schedule on Twitter, because I like to keep it pinned to the top of the thing. But I haven't been doing it lately because I was waiting for the other campaigns to get solid days and then for Spelljammer to start. So I'll do that today probably. But if you want to find that, go follow me on Twitter. If you want to join our Discord, feel free. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Discord. There you go. If you want to join that, feel free. It's not just for the players, it's for anybody who feels like it. We got meme channels for ship posts and a really good art channel full of really good art. And channels for all the different campaigns so you can discuss what's going on or what you think might go on. Yeah, so feel free to join that. If you want to get caught up on campaigns, you missed parts of Dreamwalker, want to get caught up before the next session, or if you want to watch Beyond the Eye, it's a good time to get caught up since there's only one session in. Then check it out on YouTube, Grand Lorien on YouTube. I move all the VODs from here to there. If you want to learn more about the lore of Grand Lorien, the living world that all my campaigns take place in, including the Spelljammer one, that one is, it's not a different universe, it's not a different dimension. It is literally all canon. So if you want to check out any of that stuff, look at that link there to the World Anvil. It's like a wiki for deities, factions, kingdoms, and continents, all sorts of things. So you can do some extracurricular reading if you want. I have updated it. The maps have been updated. I went back and went through some of the Eldrannor maps and made them look a little bit better because those are pretty old maps. The program that I used to make them has updated like at least 20 different times since then. So I made them look a little nicer and a little bit truer to how I imagine them. We also have a Bleak Rock map now. So you can check that out if you really want to. Bleak Rock, for reference, is the arcane frontier. It is Wild West, but mages instead of gunslingers. So check that out if you want. Those are the updates. But I think that's all I have. So we'll wrap up here. Thank you for watching. And thanks for the Prime sub that we got, Delta Dogs. Still here. I'll see you guys on Friday, most likely. Take care. Have a good night.
Night.
Night, chat.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.